Hi, everybody. Mark here, Director of Education at ED Academics. And today I wanted to go over a major lesson in math, adding and subtracting integers. These skills are important for middle school learners and anyone going into high school math, especially before algebra or pre-algebra. This lesson is good for parents as well who want to support their kids, and also teachers who want to find ways to do lesson planning and deliver these concepts to their students. Here we go. First thing we want to do when we're adding and subtracting integers is we want to think about a number line. So let's go ahead and make a little number line here. Let's use a nice purplish color. Maybe it's like a magenta. Okay. Here's our number line. Here's 0 right in the middle. And remember, to the right is positive and to the left is negative. Okay. So I'm going to show you several examples of how to add and subtract integers using the number line. And our goal is to be able to take this number line and visualize it in our head every time we add or subtract integers, which are just basically positive and negative whole numbers. Okay. Let's start with our first example. Let's use switch up the colors here a little bit. Let's go 4 plus 6. Okay, it's kind of a standard, addition problem. What we want to do is we want to find our 4 on the number line. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we think, well, if we want to add 6, we want to take 6 steps to the right. So that'll be here. And we're going to get to 10. Right? No problems there usually for most young learners. 4 plus 6, 10. You learn that pretty early on. Right? So we know that 4 plus 6 is 10. Well, what about 4 plus negative 6? Negative 6 is an integer, just like 4 and 6. Again, we find our number 4 on the number line. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we want to add 6. Adding 6 is like subtracting 6. It's takeaway. You're adding something that's negative. So we're going to go 4 steps back towards 0 and then 2 more. So what we'll basically say is 4 plus negative 6 is going to be negative 2. Okay. 4 plus 6 equals negative 2. So far, so good. All right, here we go. What about negative 4 plus 6? This one's a little bit different. We're still adding 6. We're still going to go to the right. But instead of starting at positive 4, we're going to start at negative 4 on the number line, which is right here. So if I'm going to start at negative 4, I'm going to go add 6. I'm going to go 6 steps back towards 0, and then 2 more. So 4 plus 6, or negative 4 plus 6, excuse me, is going to be 2. This one was negative 2. Negative 4 plus 6 is 2. Okay, well, what about negative 4 plus negative 6? Negative 4 plus negative 6? Again, we're going to go to the left because adding a negative is like subtracting. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we start here and we're going to add a negative 6, we're going to go to the left and we're going to get to negative 10 because adding negative 6 to 4 gets us to negative 10. So see the importance of the number line, the importance of kind of visualizing which direction you're moving. These are 4 distinct examples. These are all adding. Okay, now let's switch it up a bit. Let's go to subtraction, which is a little bit harder, honestly. So this is where it gets more important to follow the rules, to follow the directions, and just keep track in our minds of which way we're going. Okay. 4 minus 6. Okay. Well, we start at 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this time we're going to go left 6 steps and get to -2. Because subtraction is to the left. Subtracting 6 is going left. So we say that 4 minus 6 is -2. Notice how 4 plus -6 and 4 minus 6 are both -2 because adding a negative is subtracting. Well, now we can go 4 minus -6. And now we have a unique case. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we start here at 4, we're going to be taking away a negative. We're going to be subtracting -6. If we're taking something away that's negative, the negatives kind of cancel each other out and it turns into a positive. So we're actually going to go to the right 6 steps. Subtracting -6 gets us to 10. These are another one of those rules that we want to keep in mind. Math is all about rules. All right, 4 minus -6. So now we have 6 distinct examples. Subtracting a negative, notice, subtracting a negative, same as adding. Okay, almost there. What about -4? Now, -6. Ooh, all right. Again, we start at -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And since we're going to be subtracting 6, we're going to be going left 6 steps. And if we start at -4 and we subtract 6, we actually end up at -10 because we're going left more when we're already in the negative. Subtraction and addition are directions more than anything. So we say -4 minus 6 is -10. And finally, we have -4 minus a -6. Okay, so we go to -4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We start here. And because we're subtracting a negative, we're still going to add, but instead of starting on the positive, we're starting in a negative. So let's see, we're going to go back to the right. 4 more to get to 0 and 2 more because subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding. So -4 minus -6 is 2. Okay, so here we have 8 distinct examples that kind of boil down to a handful of rules, but we got to keep in mind where we're starting on the number line, a positive or a negative. Are we adding or subtracting? And are we adding or subtracting a positive or a negative? The more you practice, the more you organize your thinking, and critically, the more you use the number line in your head, this guy right here, the better it's going to be. Okay? So just want to say thank you for your time. I hope this was useful and more to come. I always do this too when I finish my lessons. Fun little cube. I love drawing that one growing up. This one too. Anyone know what this one is? Oh yeah. Bye.